plus 10. That is 18.
Very nice. All right, so Grax stands back on his feet now, folds his arms, and he says, listening.
Still hoping for an antidote, please.
Could my friend please have an antidote before she peels over?
Keels over.
Peel, like a banana.
Yeah. I always heard
Peel like a banana. We might have the sludge poison antidote here, but it's going to cost you
How much?
100 gold per dose.
I'm going to have Kesha vanish into the hood of another one of them if I can.
I'm going to be like, how about all of the gold in my purse?
Okay, so first we're going to have you roll stealth for her again.
That is math. 18 plus 5.
23. Okay, if you guys want to see that she jumped again.
I want to see the I'm going to use perception.
I'm going to say, how about
Not
all the
good
gold
enough.
in my
Not good
purse?
enough.
Not good enough.
And
18
3 plus
plus
11.
4, that's
Not
24.
Not
20.
Not quite enough.
I'm going to say,
Excuse me, God.
all of the gold in my purse, and if my friend here doesn't die, I won't slaughter all of you for not rescuing her when you had the ability.
Toby.
That's
Give
intimidating.
me an intimidate check.
Thank you.
That sounds like an intimidate if I ever heard one.
12.
Total of 12 versus. No, that was cocked. Yeah, still a 3. Believe it or not. Okay, so some of them do seem taken aback, but one of them actually is interested. Hey, how much does he have? He said all of it. Come on, no, he said all of it. What's in there? How much is
I've
it?
got the whole purse.
Okay, make a perception check.
Perception?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Holding it in front of. By the way, I'm hefting it in my hand.
Yeah, you are.
Toby, exactly how much do you owe?
So I don't have a very good perception, but it's an 8.
Okay. Then. Nope. Okay. You can see that one of them makes a grab for the pouch, but you quickly pull it away.
It's like,
Not touchy.
potion first.
If your friend here has the sludge poison, she's not going to last long enough to have this argument. I'm afraid we're in a better position than you are.
Yes, but I've got the gold and a threat against all of your lives towards her safety.
And I put a spell on her to make sure
I-
she lasts the next 6 hours, so we could leave. But you will be out of luck with the money.
So,
Okay, I'm gonna try and appeal to their.
That'd be
It's like
promising.
I gotta roll a diplomacy check. It's like have a heart.
Oh, wait,
are
no,
you
I
speaking
mean,
in
that
common
one.
or thieves jargon?
One of
Thieves
them.
jargon.
You're going to actually speak in thieves jargon, okay?
Yes.
Here
That's the second one in a row.
One?
Yeah.
One.
So they're generally not. They're not interested enough in the gold I have.
Okay, no, they're interested in how much you actually have, but they want to count it first. They weren't born yesterday,
That's
you
the
know.
second one in a row.
You want those
But I've
instead?
also rolled 2 20s with this, so.
Fine.
Grack turns to look at you with a look of absolute disdain, and he says in common, "Where you learn jargon? In baby crib?"
Okay, so
What happened to Leona? She was supposed to go to another hood?
No.
Kesha.
No, Kesha went into a different hood, so now I'm going to resolve that one. Fortitude saving throw. Actually, this one did save against the poison.
wait a minute.
So this one actually reaches into his hood and swipes, and you feel panic and kick coming from the bond with Kesha as she is thrown out of his hood and into the sludge below.
Whoa, a thought has just occurred to me. I reach into my bag and pull out a potion of string. This has a resale value of 600 gold pieces. I'll make a solid trade.
Okay, diplomacy.
By the way, Matron, I want that last guy just tried to swipe the bag out of my hands. Everyone, keep an eye on my stuff for me, please.
This is the Thieves Guild after all.
And I forgive them for that, but I will not actually let it go. Alright, diplomacy. I do not have that. Save, what is my diplomacy? +1. 9.
Total of 9.
Just straight up trade.
We make deal here. You no make terms. You want friend die or you want friend live? That bottom line. 100 gold.
How about 600 gold pieces? Straight up trade.
That not money.
It's trade worthy.
Then go up to city to trade.
Alright, fine.
It's in the
Fine.
middle
Let's
of the
go,
night.
everybody.
But it's in the middle of the night.
And I'm like, okay, fine. Bye, everyone. Let's go, guys.
You can see some of them fingering their hoods and getting ready to put them back on your heads.
All right, so
I am going.
Okay, I get my wolf to growl.
Okay? So, yeah, he can do an intimidate.
He can do an intimidate.
I feel like my intimidation
I don't know
didn't
what
actually do anything, even though I succeeded.
Can I assist the wolf?
You can actually, if you want to do that, yes. You
So
can,
do I need to roll for the wolf?
what you do is...
I rolled a nat 20.
I'm looking at this. Hold on for a second. Will you stop that?
So nat 20 plus 12 is 32.
Hold on.
Okay.
hang on. Wait.
Wolf has a +6 in intimidation, so if you want to assist him, you can roll your own intimidate. And then roll
I
his.
don't have intimidate. I'm rolling for
Okay.
him.
So for him, because she is assisting, add another +2, so it's +7.
7.
A 14,
Why can't he assist her?
and no, I'm afraid that's not enough. They're not going to
Even
be...
with my assist and my
Yeah.
nat 20.
Even with your assist, I'm afraid it's not good enough.
No.
Because as an assist, if you succeed in assist, all it does is add 2 to the skill check. All right.
Is anybody here? Are you even good
Okay,
at, are you
I'm
good
going
at,
to- okay,
good at
I'm
talking with people?
I want to make a diplomacy attempt myself.
Okay.
I was the only one who did not attempt to threaten or cause harm. I came here in an attempt to speak peacefully. I'm asking for your help. I'm asking for your help, please.
All right. Diplomacy.
Oh, it was about to be a 15.
What do you got?
7.
And what is your diplomacy skill?
5.
So 12? Yeah. Okay. They seem disinterested in your plight.
Okay, I'm gonna try to talk to him.
I'm gonna call Kesha back to myself. Since she can swim, she should be fine.
She is swimming in the sludge, so she's going to be covered in sludge for the moment.
Basically, going to be looking
You
at
wanna wipe her off.
looking at Grack and basically tell them, look, it's your own fault. Your own fault. My friends and I are down here in the first place because after I did the job, no questions asked. One of you, I don't know who, ratted me out to the guard, and I end up in trouble. And in order to keep from getting put in jail, I have to help find out who this assassin is before they murder the king.
Oh, that's actually pretty compelling. So go ahead and give me diplomacy.
$13 plus 10, that's
That's a
23.
23. I believe you have finally gotten through to them.
Thank you.
Okay. So he turns to you and he says, okay, come side, we talk.
Potion.
Also, we'd like the potion.
I'm afraid that's going to be extra at this point. They're still asking for 100 gold for the antidote. But Grack pulls you to the side and begins speaking to you in Thieves' jargon. Okay, so you can listen if you choose, Teric.
That is a 21.
Good enough. So you do hear the conversation. Grack tells you, we were commissioned by someone. We don't know who it was, but he stayed here in the Thieves Guild, and all he wanted to know was the movements of the king and his bodyguard. As soon as you reported back, he left.
So he wasn't a member of the Thieves Guild.
No, he was not.
Interesting.
For all we know, he may have already done the murder.
I see. Okay, so
When the guard came to the Thieves Guild, somehow the guard knew that the Thieves Guild was involved. We assumed that you were the one who ratted us out.
no, someone told the guards I was an accomplice, which was why they were after me in the first place.
We told the guards that you were the one who took the commission because we thought you ratted us out.
Okay, what would it? So out of character, what would it take? Would I need to roll something to maybe piece together what might have gone on? Because
Okay. Do you have knowledge of local?
I do. Knowledge local 11.
Go for it.
Because my suspicion is the guards might be the ones planning the assassination.
Possibly.
That is an 8 plus 11.
That's a 19.
Okay. Clearly, there is some sort of double crossing going on here, but you suspect that both you and the Thieves Guild are victims. And none of you guys understood this except for Jarek. He understands what's going on. Why don't you? Do you have knowledge of local?
No.
Okay, then you can't piece that together.
Hey, Josh. So I go. So Toby goes over to what's your character's name?
Jarek.
Jarek. I go over to Jarek. So I pull out my journal and a piece of paper. It's like, do you mind describing to me what the bodyguards look like?
I give him a description of the bodyguard.
You're going to write that down?
No, well, I draw.
You're
I do
gonna
a sketch.
draw.
I do a sketch. So I'm a blacksmith. I imagine
Yes.
I know how to sketch.
Okay.
All right. So I sketch out basically, and I'm like that. So I confirm it with you.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I then go over to the gentleman who's like, did they by any chance, did this guard by any chance look like either of these two?
No, it was just the city guard.
Just a city guard. That rules out the bodyguards. At least those 2 bodyguards. There were 4, correct?
No, there's a whole group of them. There are 8 of them.
Yes, and I should also say that when I interrogated the guard, I did hear a little bit of information that might be helpful. It was... They've been very, very vigilant. So whoever is actually going to attempt to assassinate the king is probably already in the castle walls as part of the organization. Because they said that they checked everything and everyone, so if he's infiltrated...
Who checks the checkers, though?
That's a good question. That I don't know.
So I think Wendell is going to.
Are you going to reveal what you've discovered?
Wendell's going to reveal to the party what he knows.
Okay. Go ahead. Explain it to them.
Basically explaining friends and maybe not friends, whatever. This might look more dire than we think it is. I'm suspecting foul play. Both myself and the Thieves Guild are being played by someone else, someone who's already close to the king as we know it. His wife!
Toby.
Sorry.
He's gonna look at Toby and just roll his eyes.
You accuse the queen.
Nobody's closer.
All right. So what are you guys going to do with this new information?
Well, what can we do? What would be our next move? When?
Would be to return to the castle immediately.
But we also need to get medical attention for her.
Exactly. Each of you have 45 gold in a pouch.
All right.
7 times 45?
Alright, I count out 45. It's like, this is all I have.
I'm gonna also count out 45.
So you're going to sacrifice your entire half reward.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I am going
That's
to
90.
contribute 10.
Fran
No, 45 plus 45?
is
That's
90.
90.
That's 90, and then if I contribute 10, that's 100.
That's 100. So, okay, you count out the pieces and you hand them over.
Appraise the poison. Appraise the potion.
Okay, the Brack actually takes the money from you, counts it out again himself, nods to his companions, passes it, and he says, "Okay, you wait here. We get." After about 2 minutes, another shadowy figure appears, bearing a pouch that is filled with a white and yellow-looking powder. "You mix this in water. You drink."
I pull up my water skin.
I look towards. It's like, Teach, is that legit?
I need to identify it.
Okay, if you're able to hold it in your hand and examine it, then you can identify it perfectly.
So with a craft alchemy check, or do I need to even roll?
Yeah, just craft alchemy check.
That's 12 plus 11 makes 23.
23, yes, it does look legitimate. It is definitely derived from the sludge rats themselves, and so would make a potent antidote. All right, you would need to mix it in approximately 2 cups of water and drink it all in one draught.
Hand me the water skin, please. I need to do some measurements.
I pass him the water skin.
Her.
Per.
A dry flavor.
Because that's never happened before in D&D,
Okay,
am I right?
if you want brewing a potion, mixing water with powder that doesn't require a craft alchemy check, you can just do that.
I just need to measure it properly, that's all.
Yep, and you have enough experience that you can eyeball 2 cups of water.
Okay.
Okay, so he pulls one of his beakers from his pocket, from his pouches, I should say, and mixes the solution, which immediately turns a sickly yellow green.
Oh my god.
All right, he mixes it with a stirring rod and hands it over to you and says, "This probably will not taste good."
It has to hurt before it heals.
It has to hurt if it starts to
Here,
heal.
drink that.
Here, drink that.
Goodbye, Pirelli's Miracle Elixir.
I'm certain I
Megan,
drunk
did you
worse.
vitamin?
And she just kind of plugs her nose and drinks.
Yeah, that was a good idea, plugging your nose. All right. Though actually, it doesn't taste nearly as foul as it looks. You are able to get it down, and you think you've been cured, even though Sirius is very confident that you have been. You're not sure. All right. So Fran had the suggestion. Fran had the suggestion of what your next action should be.
Return to the castle immediately.
I must protest that idea if they're sabotaged from within the castle.
Protest?
For all we know, the captain could be untrustworthy.
Well, if we inform the captain and he takes no action, or based on whatever action he takes, we could probably deduce whether or not he's actually.
Or we could inform him he's in on the whole conspiracy and the king dies tonight.
It's why we need to return to the castle immediately.
I'm afraid they are correct. We have no evidence, only a theory, which happens to fit the facts. What we need right now is someone to bring to the palace.
Oh, wait. Idea coming. The guy who saw the guard. I approach him and say, okay.
That was Jarek.
Yeah.
No. The
The
Thieves
one-
Guild member.
The
Thieves Guild member.
that reported to the city guard.
Yes.
Alright, so you reported to the city guard?
Yes.
Like, the guard did not take initiative and
No, the city guard actually came to the Thieves Guild, somehow knowing that the Thieves Guild was involved.
Okay. So I'm going to ask him, I'll be like, would you be willing to just quickly describe to me what this city guard looked like?
One guard looked like another. Wear helmets, wear tarburk, wear cape. They all look same.
Alright. I imagine as a well-versed thief and businessman, and so as you did identify your own man here, I trust you have some means of keeping tabs on individuals. Is there any
That's why we hired him.
Okay. Was there any distinguishing recognizable feature? For instance, what if I said that god said something foul about your mother? What would you do about it?
Mother dead.
Well, I'm going to look at Toby and probably tell him, actually, because I watched the king's movements as well as the guards. I think I might be able to pick them out, especially if one of them is up to something.
Very well.
How long would that take you?
we may have to get to the castle, and we certainly can't go knocking on the front door saying, "Hey, we think one of your guards we suspect one of your guards of foul play."
How about we just knock at the door and say we have information pertaining to the potential assassination of the king?
And cause mass hysteria. That is very smart.
We have.
You might scare away whoever is, whoever you're trying to track down. That's probably going to scare them into hiding.
What's the name of the guy we're supposed to report to? Say we have information for him.
The captain of the Royal Guard, Teric.
All right, then let's say we have information for Teric, and flash our badge.
Hey, you guys, you're debating. The Thieves Guild members are actually melting back into the shadows.
Bye.
They're confident that you have no intention of infiltrating their base.
No.
Thank you for your help.
Okay, so out of character, maybe like the best course of action is like we have to go to the castle, but maybe only tell the guy in charge of the investigation, or maybe someone could sneak somewhere to get past the castle guards, or.
I'm curious to see how you guys are going to handle this information.
You know,
How far to go?
I've always found it interesting. You have the bodyguards out in plain sight when you're guarding someone, but no one has ever thought to actually put a bodyguard, have a secret bodyguard that no one knows to take out. And
Like
I'm
a
like,
sniper?
pretty much something along those lines. I mean, everyone sees the upfront show, like it's all for show type of bodyguards, but no one sees the guy in the shadows who's actually protecting them. And I'm like, I feel like if you had just one part, at the very least, someone protecting the king that, wasn't made common knowledge, right? You'd have basically almost foolproof deterrent for, I suppose you could say, inward sabotage.
He has a point.
I have a thought. Since we don't know who's targeting the king, I could send Kesha to perhaps make her way to the king's camp. And I could follow the king wherever he goes, and with my bond with her, she could warn us immediately if anything happens.
Also,
That's definitely a possibility.
I have one suggestion. I'm able to get into places without being seen very easily. I'm also a very skilled climber, so I can get the best vantage point.
I also have a climb.
On top of that, however, Wendell pulls out spyglass from one of his pouches. This spyglass allows me to use true vision at least once a day. I may be able to see which guard is a foul.
Only if they're using a magical disguise,
Oh.
so that's...
Sorry, my engineer's mind is giving me some funny hijinks ideas. I thought it might be kind of hilarious to arrange for someone to switch out the king for one of us.
Do any of us have veil?
Do any of us actually look like the king?
I'd imagine that between
Unless the king is an orc.
The king
Or
is
if
not
the
an
king-
orc. The king is human.
how would that help any of us?
Or if the king was very short.
King is not short. King is
Hold.
human.
Does anybody here have any good with disguises?
Mm-mm.
I do.
But you're also...
Go ahead.
I would, if you are going to be up high and it needs a climb, then I will climb with you. And we can, because 2 eyes are better than 1.
So, to recap, you two are going to end up on sentry duty. You're going to be responsible for making a disguise for our paladin fellow, who is going to enter the castle with the permission of Captain Lugard, we are going to tell of the whole plan. He's the only one who's going to know the actual plan, right? We're going to tell him we intend to swap out the real king, all right, for our paladin, who's going to be disguised by him as the king.
Don't get this on camera, please! Don't get this on camera,
No,
please!
it's not on camera.
Thank you!
I would grab her, but I don't think that would be appropriate.
Now,
Okay, she's out of my
She's out. She's
Well,
out.
this is what happens when a rat climbs down shirts.
So,
Sorry.
disguised as the king,
Wow. I'm
now disguised as the king, all right. You will then go out and be joined by the bodyguards who will not know you are not the actual king. They will, however, be expecting an assassination, and they will be under the impression that you are under protective wards created by yourself. You two will be protected. What were our other two? What was your plan?
I would like to have Tisha escape the squishy grasp. I would like to have Kesha sneak in with them and conceal herself so that she can keep an eye on the entire situation.
Alright.
That way, if anything should happen and we're not nearby, we can be alerted immediately.
I would like to elect to be in the room with the actual king, just in case the captain of the guard ends up being the actual double-crosser, because if he is, then he will be the only one that knows about the betrayal, in which case the king will be in danger from at least one man.
I am highly against this.
Why is that?
Wait, why are you asking?
I'm asking. Why is that?
Why exactly are you against this?
What is your...
I'm sorry, it just seems that an orc with a dwarf hammer celebrating my god is protecting the king.
For
That
the
is it.
last time, I am not an orc. I am Toby, blacksmith of the Barrier Mountains. I wield Vulin, strength of the mountain, crafted by my own hand and my heart. With it I have made many wonders and won much honor. With it I will remake myself, and I will protect the king. And then I say in Dwarvish, you think you hate orcs, sister of the mountains. Surely I tell you there are not words in any language to describe my hatred for orcs.
So why does he look like an orc if he's not an orc?
Okay, so...
Oh.
Okay, so does my
that's-
character have a mirror?
And that is the right question.
Right question.
So, okay, my character has a mirror or something. Or just
You
grabs
have a
some-
polished shield.
Okay, so she takes off the shield and thrusts it at his face.
I push it down, and I say in Dwarvish again, you think I do not know what I look like? It is only by the strength of Coxuth that I do not slay myself.
That is it.
Do I
Lady
roll,
Brad.
roll a sense motive?
You can, yeah. What are you going to say?
Lady Fran, I do not know your problem with orcs, but I am growing tired of this continuous struggle. with
She's
All you heard was a discussion in Dwarvish.
Yeah, you don't understand what they're talking about.
No, I don't.
But you do sense that
the-
there is some tension.
But she did mention it before they started speaking in Elvish.
Okay. All right. You don't think he's telling a lie.
Okay. Okay, I say to him in Dwarvish, there are things you're not telling me. I expect answers soon.
Did you hear what he called you?
No, I did not. What do you call me?
Repeat what you called her.
Sister of the mountains.
Yeah, I caught that. Okay, that part I did actually catch, but I thought it was.
Okay, so now there's this dwarven conversation going on back and forth. Is anybody having
I'm
linguistics? Go ahead.
I'm going to interrupt it.
I'm gonna roll linguistics.
I'm going to interrupt it.
Yes, what are you going to say?
I got a 13 all told.
But
I just barely missed failing
Well,
that.
Vivian is going to try and interrupt here. What's she saying?
Lady Fran, I know not of your problem with orcs, nor have you said anything. And I'm not going to pry anymore. But however, we all need to trust each other. If we do not act, the king will be slain. And that will be blood on our hands. Not just yours, not just his. Our hands. We have to keep our heads. We have to work together as a team. And that means putting aside anything negative we might have. So I beg you, please, put away your anger for now, and we shall proceed to
Two friends.
Yes, indeed. So, do you want to explain to her the new developments here?
No, I am going to roll a diplomacy to see if I can
No,
appeal to her.
he was
better.
asking me if I wanted to.
If she's going to try and
inform you.
explain to you what's going on, because you think she's angry.
I don't think he's actually.
All right. What do you think he is?
I think something's wrong with him.
Well, he is. a
No.
bit-
Okay, so Fran pulls her down, like to her level, and said, "Things are not what they seem.
I figured that out. I figured he's
I
the
think-
curse.
Maybe worse." She lets go.
I think that was an Owen moment, pulling you down.
Oh gosh!
That was an Owen moment, right there.
All right.
Other campaign. Alright, anyways.
So, how are we going to proceed here? Now we have some new revelations that I'm not sure they're willing to.
I rolled a linguistics and I
You
got
did.
13.
13 is not enough because you're not familiar with the Dwarvish language.
Alright, so.
Get on my level, scrub.
Ooh.
Oh, that was out of character. Oh, don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me.
No, you are not attacking my sister.
I'm not attacking her.
No.
Oh. Oh.
Took away the dice. You took away the rainbow dice.
I gave these to
Yeah,
her.
she gave those to
I know, but still, it hurts.
So, how are we going to proceed from this point, guys?
I'm going to look towards our halfling friend and say, all right, so let's see how good you are at this disguise thing.
Now, my disguise
we
is that
should do that actually after we talk to him.
Well, we can practice.
You might want to get out of the sewers first.
Yes, let's get out of the
Well, the thing is, if we practice in plain sight amongst watchful eyes, which I'm sure we're probably still being watched, since that's where in their domain.
It is
we
the middle
want.
of the night after all.
It might be the middle of the night, but I'd still rather only one person outside of this group possibly find out about our plan.
All right, let's do that. I point towards the direction of the manhole. Onward!
And upward.
Onward and upward. So, making your way back to the top, back to the ladder, you each in turn climb up to the moonlight of the night. It is now approximately 11 o'clock at night. And the night is moving on and your time is running out. You're not sure how much time you have left. So, emerging into the moonlight on the prison island, you quickly cross the bridge and back to the mainland of Port Sheridan. You are now close to the burnt remains of the salty dolphin. What is your plan?
Flash my badge and get to the. Flash my badge everywhere we go. and
How
try to get
did
to
this tavern burn down?
You see Vivian turn away from the cavern, and she's trying to hide her face.
Is something wrong?
Do you really want to know?
Yes.
I was a bartender here.
Bouncer.
I was a bouncer, excuse
Yes.
me, here. I earned a good living until it caught fire. Now I was forced out of work, and I now work as a security guard at Kanal's temple, only for a few weeks. So when Wen told me his plight, I immediately sympathized. This place, I had a good living here. I loved it. It makes me sad to look at it.
I'm sorry.
Well,
But
I kept all the bad people out because of my strength and protective attitude. They said it's natural to me, being good
Oh,
fighter.
The Keksoff Temple earned a good guard then.
indeed.
and as sad as it is that you lost your job, at least you're still able to go home.
What do you mean?
I made a choice once, and looking back, I made the wrong one.
Do you want to talk about it?
I think that I want to head to wherever we need to go so I can go clean this stuff off of myself and Kesha, so that she won't be smelled so that there won't be a scent of sewer reek in the king's chambers.
You are close. You are next to the river.
Then
To the baths.
there's a river. Shall we clean ourselves off?
Yes.
You could go jumping off of the bridge if you like.
Well, is there
my
a way to
swim sucks.
walk down to the river?
The shore on either side is a steep bank, about a 45 degrees.
So how do we get out again?
Yes.
That is a fair point.
I'm just gonna go up to a house flash. I'm gonna knock on the door, middle of the
That
night.
is not how the badge works, and he pulls a Toby at the shoulder.
Why can't I just ask to use someone's bath?
Because
That
that
would
is
be-
an abuse of power,
And
if,
I
be
can
weird.
even pay them.
if you try it, I will take your badge, knock you over the head, and leave you in the street.
Why can't I just pay them? I'm sure they'd like to make what? At least 5 gold pieces for me to use their bath.
Toby.
If I cast
In fact, I consider they'd probably be on their
Right.
knees
If I
thanking
cast
me.
living disc, can I stand on it?
No.
Dang.
Toby. The answer is no.
How do I get a bath then?
Let me look that up for you.
You know what? Let's just report to the castle. They're probably willing to give us a bath after we tell them why we're
Let's not
filthy.
go to the castle.
Please don't go to the
Indian is dancing her hand up to your hair, and she's about ready to pull your head back.
That wasn't a joke. Let's go to the castle and get a bath.
All right, let's see.
Are you opposed to... Is it baths against your religion or something?
No, but stupidity is.
Oh,
Unfortunately, baths can't cure that, and I do need one.
indeed. Actually, floating
Setting your
disc.
mouth might cure something.
Your
True, but then I wouldn't be able to help the king.
floating disc carries up to 100 pounds per caster level,
No,
so you could stand on it. Yes.
Okay.
It only floats 3 feet above the ground.
well, I'm gonna expend a spell, and I'm gonna cast floating disc. And while these two are going back and forth, I'm gonna float myself and catch it down to the river and clean up.
Resourceful.
I'm going to make sure I'm all like clean.
I'm gonna roll.
And then I'm gonna float up and like make sure I shake the water off my hair enough that I catch both of them in the face.
Your
And I'm
your
just
clothes
going
are soaking wet.
I'm going to look at them and say, next.
You look like you were drowned in a river.
I will get on the floating disc,
I believe you
and
have a problem solved here.
I will get on the floating disc, and I will take my bath.
Mm-hmm. One at a time.
How are we drying off though? It's the middle of the night.
Shake. You're.
That won't dry out your clothes.
It's
Have you never
either.
heard of ringing? And she's like twisted her shirt clean.
These clothes are leather. They don't ring, and they don't do well in.
So it's either go back to the
Then
royal guard
strip.
smelling like sewer,
Sorry,
or
no.
you go back to the royal guard dripping.
Look, I would, but there are ladies here.
Wendell is simply going to climb down near to the river, clean himself off, and then climb back up.
I was letting everybody on the floating disc one at a time.
Oh.
You can take your turns if you wish, but I believe your problem is solved.
Yeah, problem solved. Moving on.
Okay? So, after taking about 20 minutes to wash in the river,
Because, we weren't in a hurry.
Well, we don't want to stank like sewer when we go up to take care of things with the king, now do we?
Yes, we get back to the castle. Oh, you're just in time. The king's been assassinated. Oh.
oh snap.
Oops.
Okay.
We probably shouldn't have stopped to take that bath.
All of you are now dripping wet, but much relieved of the sewer smell. You make your way back through the crafting district to the.
Are you okay?
Sorry, I've just got a little bit of heartburn from the pizza. You make your way back through the crafting district to the barracks of the Royal Guard.
I would assume that we are running there.
Yes, you are moving as quickly as you can.
Some of us waddling.
If that is the case, then Sarias would have to reach a point where she is beyond winded.
Yes.
I've got a
Soraya,
floating disc. You could sit on it.
Lady
It doesn't last
Soraya,
that
are
long.
you alright?
Yeah.
So,
Are you opposed to being carried?
Sarias is able to run about a third of the way there before she becomes extremely winded and nearly collapses to her knees.
I go up to her and say, are you opposed to being carried?
I think she would rather a lady carry her.
What? DM, do I still have my dire wolf with me?
How about?
Nope, that only lasted
Would a
about 2
lady have a
minutes.
high enough
How about you
strength
let?
check to
How
do
about you
that?
let her answer? Just a thought.
We are in a hurry. So I just need someone to carry me there.
I pluck her up.
But rest assured, this does not mean you are on my good side yet.
Understood. And I will tell no one that I had to do this with you.
I am actually gonna roll a strength check to see if
I
I'm
roll
sorry.
I roll a 23 when I pick her up.
He's already there.
23 strength check?
Yep.
All right, you could have, if you want to do a 2-man carry, that makes it easier.
Then I will
Okay.
guess it. 5 plus 18, is that 23?
No. You want
It's your
the
strength modifier.
modifier.
Oh, what's the modifier?
That becomes
oh, 4.
a 4, yes. 5 plus 4 is 9. I'm afraid, nope, he's got her.
I just kind of throw her on my back and it's like, alright,
All right.
onward.
Sarias, you are forced to endure a jostling, rough journey on the shoulders of an orc as you are run the rest of the way to the Royal Guard.
I am sorry for the bumpy ride. I will have you dismount before we are
It
within
is
sight of
most
anyone.
unbecoming.
So Wendell is basically going to tell them, I suggest we let the paladin do the talking to tell them what we know and what we need to do.
During the ride, your hat comes off and falls to the ground.
And
Pick that up!
being
Can
a
I
teacher's
roll
pet.
a reflex
Wait, I
save?
want to be the teacher's pet and pick it up for her.
Pick up the teacher's pet.
Mhm.
Okay, you can try picking it up as well.
I
Let's
was
see.
gonna see if I could roll a reflex save to catch it while it's in the air.
You can certainly try that. What's your reflex?
Let's see, it's plus 3, and I rolled a 16.
19. Yep, you snag it out of the air. I need everyone to make a perception check.
She's behind me.
Oh, yeah, not you. Everyone.
That's a 20.
Not 20?
It
is dark.
19 plus 4 is 23.
Total of 20.
You and
Total of 26.
you have dark vision.
Total of 21.
Low light vision.
Okay. Actually, for those that have low light vision, you need to beat a 20. For those that have dark vision, you need to beat a 16.
21.
I have 23.
26.
But I don't have any of those visions, but I got a nat 20.
You did. What was your roll?
16.
16? In fact, okay, everybody sees it then.
Except for me.
Okay, except you. Sarias, the roots of her hair for about 2 inches are stark white, while the rest of her hair is a very natural brunette.
I keep running. I don't stop.
And she demands that her hat be returned to her.
I was like, alright, I kind of lower her down. It's like, alright, pop it on her head.
Hold on, I'm holding it, and I'm like, why is your hair white?
We do not have time for this. This is humiliating enough of
Yes.
a learning experience. Give me the hat. We need to go.
And if
Yes,
I
yes,
say
yes.
no,
Okay. Can I
Carrying her as the person.
Can I be the teacher's pet and snag the hat? from
I'm
her?
gonna put it back on her head.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just teasing her.
You're teasing the university professor.
She doesn't scare me.
She's on my back and she's scared of me.
They're not in my pocket.
That face though.
Love you, Doc.
That is a face of sourness.
Humiliating the doc.
Please, Percy.
This is called role playing.
All right.
Acting.
Acting, indeed. All right.
So we keep running.
After a remaining rough journey where the hat somehow manages to stay on her head, and with a very sullen look, she jumps down from your shoulders as you reach the gate, the main gate of the Royal Guard barracks.
I'm gonna go over to her and whisper.
I won't say anything.
What are we talking about?
The white.
All right, plan. I go up to the guard and say, Captain of the guard, we need to speak to him. I flash the badge.
The doors are closed and latched.
I kick the door.
Don't kick the door.
I'm not kicking it in. I'm knocking with my foot.
Why?
That is ugly.
Because he's currently carrying someone
No,
with his
he-
arm.
No, she jumped off. She
All
had
right.
no intention of staying on any
Oh,
longer.
well,
than
then I'm knocking.
Okay. Pound, pound, pound on the door, and it echoes inside the hallway that you remember that led to the main meeting room. And then, after a few moments, you can hear someone bellowing from inside, "Go away, or I'll call the City Watch!"
We work for the City Watch. Open up in the name of the king.
So then a slot opens in the door, and you see a pair of eyes staring you.
I show the badge.
Follow me. You hear the door unlatch and it swings open, and you see the assistant before that had brought out the reward money, only half clad in armor and the rest in just night clothes. He leads you back into the meeting room where Derek is sitting. Again, he's only wearing his breastplate. His helmet is on the table beside him, and he's sitting in a chair reading over some reports. He looks up at you and he says, "Why are you all wet?"
We
And
just
trust me, this was the better option.
we just came out of the sewers looking for the Thieves Guild. We found them and we have news.
It's a long story.
You have a report.
Yes,
Can
we have a report.
one at a time, please.
Yes.
Can you appoint someone to be your spokesperson?
All right.
I suggested the paladin on the way here.
So I explained this. I explained the situation. I explained that it's like we're pretty sure that something bad is going to happen very, very soon, and we need to hatch a plan.
And that, we have a plan.
I already knew all of that. What details?
All right, we know. Well, so we point out. So I whisper to the paladin, it's like the fact that we know that it's an inside job.
Yep.
Someone in the castle. We have reason to believe that someone works in the castle close to the king that wants him dead. We have a plan to get him to not only get him to safety, but also perhaps out the person that intends to take him down.
As he whispers that to me, I'm just kind of feeding it into a language that is very flowery and diplomatic.
Paladin-like.
Yes. Okay. Then give me a diplomacy.
For all we know,
9 plus. Where's my diplomacy?
10.
19.
19. Okay. Very good. So you're telling me that that the assassin is already inside the castle, and you know this how?
Logical deduction.
I need something better than that.
I questioned all the guards, and it is the only theory that
We also talked to the Thieves Guild themselves.
Yes, we also talked to the Thieves Guild themselves.
You found the Thieves Guild. Where? Okay, I'll ask that later. Okay,
They found us.
fair point. That's usually the way it happens. So, you have information from the Thieves Guild. They are planning to send one of theirs into the castle to assassinate the king.
No.
Actually, it sounds like it's someone from outside of the Thieves Guild. The Thieves Guild, I believe, was used.
Yes. The Thieves Guild was in fact duped. Someone infiltrated the Thieves Guild so they could use those resources to infiltrate the castle.
and then they framed for Wen as an opportunity, so that way it would not only come down on him, but also on the guild he works for.
Okay.
They are victims of circumstance.
If this is true, and I'm not saying I believe you, but if this is true, then someone who could deceive the entire Thieves Guild into doing what they wanted is not something that I would want to be confronting.
I don't imagine we either want the king to be assassinated either.
It is our solemn duty to protect the king, so what is your plan?
All right.
And then we relay.
All right,
So I'm saying. So we are going to do a bait and switch. All right. I suggest a bait and switch. We have the paladin disguised as the king, without telling anyone. You are the only
Okay,
one.
stop right there.
Yes.
He doesn't even look like the king.
We have a
you ever-
master of disguise, former member of the, associate of the Thieves Guild. Alright? I'm sure he's.
His eyes grow wide.
And besides, have you never heard of veil?
The king doesn't wear veils.
No, the spell veil.
Are you a caster?
No, but
Well then,
It's a
have
long
a
story
disguise.
short, we have ways to make myself look like the king.
okay.
We will use.
Assuming that's true, and I'm not saying I believe you. I said that before, didn't I?
Yes, you did. It's alright, it's a long night, it's
What are
late.
you going to do if impersonating the king, and where are you going to put the king himself to keep him safe?
We will take the king to the dungeon.
No, we will take him. I think that the
You're,
temple will be
you're going to
safer.
throw King Reynolds into the prison?
No, not in the prison, down in the dungeon. The dungeon is where is a heavily fortified, easily dispensable position.
Clearly you don't know this castle.
She suggested perhaps one of the
just-
temples.
One of the temples could work. But you need it easily defensible, not easily accessed from multiple points.
Temple security would never agree to this.
hold on. I am from the temple
Well,
of Kanath.
You are on temple security.
Yes.
He seems very deflated.
If I can convince my abbot to hold the king while we enact our plan, I'm certain he will be safe. But we have a way to make this work. We
Now-
are pleading to your better nature.
That would require smuggling the king from the castle across town to the temple of Kexoff.
Disguised as our paladin.
Would you give him your armor? He doesn't wear armor.
well, if that is what's necessary.
You're saying you would go and impersonate the king, and you would take your entire suit of armor and give it to him, and then go in against an assassin without wearing any protective gear at all.
I think you underestimate me, good sir.
Fran throws the paladin her shield.
I already have one.
He's crazy.
Well, then it just hit him in the
Actually,
face.
he's a paladin.
We are, as a paladin, we are used to giving our lives to greater cost, something you should be very familiar with.
And we have no other choice.
All right. Okay.
Should that have been a diplomacy roll, or?
Let's continue with that. He is actually very deflated at this point, sitting in his chair with his head slumped over.
Please understand, sir, for this plan to be successful and for us to actually isolate the variables, the people who intend to harm your king, it is crucial that you share this plan with nobody but yourself. You instead will tell just the bodyguards, only the bodyguards, that our paladin will be taking the king into a separate room to put protective wards on him. During that time, they will switch.
That's not going to fly. They'll never let the king out of their sight.
Meanwhile, I will also be able to keep a bird's eye view from high up. I'm a very skilled climber.
In the middle of the night,
I have a spyglass that'll give me a good view, as well as our ranger. What?
she doesn't want you to say.
Oh, okay.
No, I was supposed to be the one helping.
Yeah.
However, if I am taking the king into my abbot and at my temple, perhaps if you do go alone, Fran, would you be able to help me escort the king to the temple? You are also a follower of Kanath. I trust you. Kexoff.
There we go.
I trust you.
Fran's face contorts slightly. If I must be needed there, then yes.
Then we have protective guard for the king, so that way he may pass safely.
As for who will stay with the king while he is in the safety of the temple, while our front is acting as the bullseye, per se, right? I would like to volunteer to be his personal bodyguard during the time he is.
You're neglecting the very simple point. The bodyguards of the king will never let him out of their sight.
What about if they are ordered by their king? What about you? What is your pull on this? Does this not seem like a foolproof plan?
Then, if we are all so worried, why not ask the king himself?
That would require waking him from his sleep.
Then do it if we must, but he...
Wake him or he may not wake again.
I get that.
Captain,
Okay.
you have to trust us.
All right. He turns to his assistant and he motions for him to follow.
I'm going to have Keisha quietly slink onto the captain's armor.
Okay.
That's the reason I didn't want my part to get mentioned.
Let's see if this works. Roll a stealth for Keisha.
7 plus 18, that is a
25.
25.
She is good. Also, the fact that she's only about that big. Okay.
If I have tools, I make use of them.
Is anyone else cold?
Are you cold?
Oh, I took.
So he's waking the king.
Derek returns momentarily. With Keisha still on his shoulder, Derek, having spoken with the personal bodyguard of the king, says, "We will proceed, but one of the bodyguard must be in there with you as you are making the switch."
Very well.
Can you agree to that?
It would actually narrow down the guards further, now that I think about it.
I have no qualm.
That would narrow them down further. Because if he finds out about it, then that would narrow it down to simply this guy and the other bodyguard.
Provided he doesn't tell any of his buddies.
True.
Swear him to secrecy. Let him be the only one to know.
So, if we're going to do this, we need to do it quickly.
All right. Yes. All right. So, is there any way we can keep an eye on this particular bodyguard?
You have Keisha right there.
Mm-hmm.
You can transfer, if she wants to transfer to that bodyguard, she can try and make the jump.
I would rather keep an eye on the king himself.
Okay, so Sir Jarak is actually going in that way now to make a switch. So if you want to have Keisha on his shoulder, that might be the best way to go.
Yes.
All right. So, did he tell the bodyguard about the switch, or did that?
No, he said that he told the bodyguards that what you had said, that the paladin wants to go in and put a protective ward on the king.
Okay.
The bodyguards agreed, but they could not agree to him being alone with the king.
All right.
So the compromise was that one of the bodyguards go in with them.
All right. All right.
Okay. So, all of the rest of you, what positions are you going to take?
Okay, so Wendell is going to try to climb somewhere that.
You have to disguise him.
Oh,
now.
right. So, well,
You better stealth your way in.
In order to succeed, you might want to stealth your way in, or you could disguise him now.
Disguise him now.
Yeah, I'll disguise him now.
Okay,
so.
give me a disguise check.
All right.
Here we go, folks.
Is the king coming into this room?
No, you're going to have to
Oh
go back.
no, that did not just happen.
We're not rushed.
Oh,
You can
okay.
take a 10.
You can take
10.
10. You can take 10 if you wish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
What does take 10 mean?
It means you take your time.
If you have 5 or 10 minutes uninterrupted, it means you can just automatically say, "I rolled a 10," and then add your skill to it.
okay, so
If you have a half an hour, you can take 20.
No, it's just you add a 10 to your disguise skill.
Oh, okay. So I should I roll again or
Disguise.
No, you
Okay.
just no.
Take 10.
So,
Okay. So
So what is your disguise skill?
His
One.
disguise skill is 1.
Just 1 and a
Yeah.
10? That's
Yeah.
not going to be enough.
Okay.
All right.
What? But you're a rogue and you don't have
Are
anything
you
in
familiar with
disguise?
the take 20 also?
You can take 20, but that you need 30 minutes of uninterrupted activity.
You could take a 20. You could take a 20 if we spend 30 minutes getting this
Okay.
right.
If you want
wanna
to take
take
that
20?
time, do you have that time?
Do we?
Do we have 30 minutes to get the king getting you two looking exactly like each other?
I mean,
Well,
it is a rather complicated
Well, the
war.
thing is, if we're attacked right now, we're gonna be prepared.
All right. So let's
All right.
take the
You're going to take the 30 minutes.
take the 30 minutes.
Okay.
So that's a 20. Would be a 21.
So that's a 21 is enough. Yes.
All right. So you give the armor over to the king. We inform the bodyguard.
Now, what's happening here is Wendell is disguising him before he even goes into the king.
Got it.
He and Keisha are now going into the king with Derek and with one of the bodyguards. The rest of you, what positions are you going to take?
Me and Fran are going to be escorts for the king to the temple.
Once he comes out, then you can escort him. Okay. All right. What about the rest of you?
I'm going to go with them uncomfortably because I don't want to go to this temple. But it's the best way to make sure that everybody stays on the same page if something happens.
Very well. Wendell, what are you doing? You're going to scale the castle wall?
Yeah, to get like a high vantage point.
You have to also disguise the king.
We just did that.
No,
he's
disguise
disguising
him.
the paladin, but you have to disguise the king when he comes back out.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I
I think so. Our idea was originally have it be visibly seen by the guards, the king and him going into a separate room.
He's already disguised.
Okay. So he's disguised, so now I have to disguise
So
the king.
if the bodyguards are going to see that he is looking suspiciously like the king, because the disguise is already in place.
No, so I thought the king was already in the room.
He's not.
That was misunderstood.
So will I have to sneak in to disguise the king?
That may have to be necessary.
All right.
Luckily, your stealth checks. are
Yeah, let
ridiculous.
me sneak into the king's room.
So you're going to follow Derek and Keisha and Sir Jairus.
Yes.
Okay, give me a stealth roll. I will still allow you to keep
That was a
21.
nat 19.
Nat
Nat
19
19.
plus 17 on stealth.
That is
Yes.
That is the finest stealth roll that you have done this entire.
Good job saving that for when it mattered.
Yeah.
Okay, so slipping into the shadows, you follow Derek and Keisha and Sir Jarak into the courtyard of the castle itself, where the entourage of 8 personal bodyguards to the king are waiting. They see Derek and Jarak come in. They do not see you, and they are all scowling because you can clearly tell that they don't like this idea. One of them steps forward and says, if you are going to go into the king, I will be watching you.
They don't see him either.
Very closely. Yeah, they do. They do see him.
We wouldn't show him. We're not revealing him.
No, he's just going in because they expect a paladin to be coming in to be casting a ward.
So they know that they all know
But
the plan. Like
here's the thing, though. We didn't want the bodyguards to know about the switch.
Well, they don't. They just see, all they see is him going into the room with
Yeah.
the king to cast the wards.
Oh, so we went. Okay, never mind. Then.
So, at this point, they lead you across the courtyard into the great double doors, the entire entourage following along, and you go up the castle steps to the living area. The king is summoned by 4 of his bodyguards out of his sleeping chambers, where he comes into a side room where they open the door. One of the bodyguards goes in with you, and you are motioned to enter. After which, so do you want to follow them into that room?
Yes.
Okay, give me another stealth check.
Above 10. Above 10. Above 10.
I'm gonna do adaptable luck before, which will give me a +2.
+2 on your stealth check. Very good.
Oh, this can't be in that one.
9 plus
10, 11.
Plus
10, 11,
plus
Plus 17.
that's 28.
11.
28. Okay. Nope. Alright. Even though this room is better lit, you are still able to slip behind Derek and Jarek, and so the king nor the other bodyguard does not observe you. Derek, seeing that the bodyguard and Sir Jarek are in the room with the king, he exits and closes the door behind you. Alright. Now, what are you going to do?
Alright.
So now
The 3 of you are waiting to take the king to safety.
Mm-hmm.
Toby and Wendell and Sarias, I need to know what you guys are doing.
So now is when we have to disguise the king.
So yes, so you
So
have to reveal yourself to the guard, obviously.
Okay. So
Okay.
I step out.
Toby and Sarias, what are you guys doing?
We're outside the room. We're just waiting with the scowling royal guards.
Okay.
So obviously you're gonna have to be upfront and explain to
Yes.
the guard exactly what the actual plan is. At this
All right.
point.
I need Sir Jarek, make a perception check and a sense motive check.
Okay, perception. That is 8 plus 8, 16.
Okay.
And sense motive, that's 11 plus 8, that is 19.
Okay. You sense an ominous intent in the room with you.
All right. I communicate to him in Thieves' jargon. It's like, I don't feel safe.
Okay.
I am.
So you're going to reveal yourself.
I'm going to reveal myself and sense motive on the one guard there.
Okay. So the bodyguard, upon seeing you step from the shadows, immediately accosts you with a spear.
Oh.
And holds you at spear point against the wall. And the king, at that very moment, holds up his hand and says, "Hold! Leave him be." You are very surprised by this action, as are you. Okay? The bodyguard says, "Yes, my liege, but he is here. He is not invited. He may be the assassin." And the king still holds up his hand. "Hold, let him be." What is your intent? He says to you.
Your Majesty, we're here to save your life. It's imperative that you switch places with our paladin friend here so that he can act as your body double while we hide you.
Hide me? Paladin? Indeed. He goes to his bodyguard and he says, "You won't be necessary." And the bodyguard protests, "But my liege, these are two strangers. You won't be necessary. Please wait outside."
No, something's wrong.
Obviously, yes.
The bodyguard protests a little bit more, but finally salutes stiffly and then exits the door, closing the door behind him.
Oh, wait. I'm going to sense motive on the king.
Me too.
Go ahead. Hey, sense motive. You have something even better, Josh.
What?
You have detect
Check your
evil.
abilities.
I dropped
Detect evil, I'd imagine.
Okay, yes. Detect evil at will. Must target a specific individual within 60 feet. I do that?
Detect evil. Where's your dice?
It fell. That's the thing.
I went under the table.
Escaping dice. Escaping dice.
This dice did not want to let us know what happened.
Check under here. Suspecting that there is something amiss, you turn your gaze to the king and activate your detect evil. And you immediately perceive a darkness aura enveloping his entire person.
Okay, maybe.
Oh, I got a nat 20 on sense
Okay,
motive.
you know the king, there is something up and he is not being forthright.
I got 27 in total.
All right, and I say it, I kind of whisper in Thieves' jargon, play it cool.
You have a lizard on your shoulder.
Yes, okay. All right, the lizard, let's have her see if she can figure out something's wrong, even though she has a low intelligence. No, she cannot tell anything's wrong.
Yeah, but I'm whispering to him.
Yeah.
Play it cool.
All right.
Thieves' jargon.
Although, Liana, you are now aware that there is no longer a bodyguard in the room, and the king is alone with Wendell and Sir Teric.
Something's not right.
We would all be able to see that the bodyguard came out
That
without
is
anyone
correct.
else.
That is correct. Except that's correct. So all of you know that the bodyguard has now left the room. You do not know why.
Wait.
Something's not.
The other bodyguards would
Imagine
immediately
insight
start
check
protesting
would
too.
Probably be in
Okay.
insight.
Sense motive.
Outside
I'm
the
gonna do a
room.
perception.
Outside the room, there is now a heated discussion among the entourage of bodyguards and Teric, trying to find out why the king sent his own bodyguard out of the room.
Can we all roll an insight?
Yeah, you can't. Well, no insight here.
That's
What is it?
sense motive, I guess.
That would almost be.
Part of me wants to roll a knowledge and ability, see if I can
Okay,
figure it out.
knowledge of nobility will work here. Okay, knowledge of arcana will also work here.
That would be me.
If you have knowledge of nobility or arcana.
Let's see if I can get our arcana going. That is a
20.
nat 20 plus 14.
Holy flip! Okay.
I rolled a nat 22!
Three nat 20s in a row.
So wait, are you doing knowledge of nobility or
No,
arcana?
nobility.
And
Nobility?
she's a
And Arcana.
Okay, so we've got.
Everyone's piecing this together immediately.
Okay, there is clearly something wrong here. The king would not have sent out his own bodyguard. You remember that the Thieves Guild. They were saying in Thieves jargon, that it clicks your memory that they said it's already done.
Uh-huh.
The king's been replaced.
He is already dead.
You didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I did.
No, you
Did
didn't.
you say that out loud?
Well, you're in the room with only two other people.
No, that's
Okay, don't say that out loud.
Don't say that. But I am very suspicious now. Wendell is very suspicious. He's trying his best not to.
Yeah, right now I'm just looking at our giant aura of evil mother. It's like,
Yeah, and seeing his face, like, I'm very much suspicious that this is not who we think it is, but I'm not letting him know that.
Can I just make a basic intelligence check because
Are you trained in any knowledges?
I'm trained in all knowledges involving crafting things.
Okay, you have knowledge of engineering.
I have knowledge of engineering as well.
That's not going to help you here.
Well, what about engineering or
Social
planes?
engineering,
Okay, knowledge of planes. Try that.
Okay. Wish me luck.
Rakshasa. Maybe.
I have knowledge of
Sex,
religion.
enough.
Knowledge of religion.
What is that?
Go for it.
18 plus 6, that's 24.
Oh my gosh, where are these rolls coming from?
6 plus 7.
13.
It's still
Okay, knowledge. What does my knowledge planes get me?
Okay, knowledge of planes. You realize that nobody could have gotten past those guards unless they were using some sort of planar shift.
Okay.
Oh no, a planar shift. We have to get in there now.
Well, the guards would be arguing amongst themselves about why anyone was taken out in
Can you
person.
convince the guards that something is wrong?
get your diplomacy guys in the room.
Okay,
I
shift.
have.
Sorry, go ahead. Shift to inside the room. All right, the king, in a very regal manner, faces you and he says, "Little paladin, to what do I owe the honor?"
We're going to do a plan to not help.
Why the stammer all of the sudden?
I've never been in from the nobility before, so this is a little.
Make a will saving throw.
Oh dear. Okay.
Nat one. It was a nat one.
Okay,
Jell recalled he'd like his dice
you
back,
can
please.
feel a presence in your mind and you have lost control of yourself. You are now under the control of this very suggestive and seductive person who is staring straight into your soul.
Wait, aren't paladins immune to stuff like that?
No,
No.
they're
Well,
immune
they're immune to fear.
to diseases and fears, but suggestion, no. So, Wendell, to the right of you, you suddenly see Sir Teric fall to his knees and raise his arms and say, "My lord, I will do as you wish."
Aramel.
See.
Sorry, I couldn't
And
resist.
the king says, "As my first command, my loyal servant, you will slay this vermin standing next to you."
Oh no.
So he can't
All right.
do anything against that.
Shifting back to the outside, what are you guys going to do?
Do we hear that?
Upon realizing
Okay.
my plane.
Do we hear what's going
Let's
on?
make listen checks because the guards are arguing
Perception.
loudly. with each
Perception
other.
check, and I'm using aspect of the falcon plus 5 perception for 30 seconds.
18 plus 4 is
22.
22.
Don't bother.
Okay, in total, I have 21.
Total, and you have 22,
18
I'm at
total.
20.
and you got 20. Okay, because believe it or not, because all the guards are arguing with each other, you need a 29 or a nat 20.
Okay, so he got
Okay.
one.
Toby, you are the only one who perceives what's going on. You actually hear that full conversation with the king, between Sir Teric and the king, and you can hear what's
Wait,
going
what
on.
did I hear through Keisha?
Okay, Keisha is on Sir Jarik's shoulder. Yes, but you Keisha doesn't understand the language, but you do hear the tone of voice that the king is speaking in.
So sense motive, I guess.
You're allowed a sense motive here.
Okay. Oh boy.
All right.
19!
Okay.
Plus 1 is 20.
Toby heard the conversation. You know that the king is sinister at this point.
I simply yell, men to arms. Protect your kid. Well,
Men, protect your king!
Okay. When the orc says it, the bodyguards are saying, really, right? But then the elf jumps up and says it, and they start paying attention. And then the one that came out of the door, suddenly turns and tries to pull the door latch, which he discovers is now locked.
I kick in the door.
Okay.
I am running
Wait, I was
toward
going
the
to
door
say
with my great sword.
I was going to say I could melt the lock with acid splash.
You have a giant orc here. Who's not an orc?
I'm going to just cantrip acid splash on the door.
Okay, acid splash on the doorknob. Okay,
I just nat 20 strength checked on the door.
Never mind.
Holy flip. Okay, so with your entire body, you throw your shoulder into the door. The wood splinters, but still holds. It is iron reinforced.
Ooh. I use my hammer.
Okay, so
Wait, wasn't she casting acid splash?
you are casting acid splash on the lock.
On the
okay,
lock.
roll for damage. There is no hit roll, and it is a helpless target.
What do I roll for it?
For acid splash is 1d4 plus 1.
Tell me to step back first, please.
He just threw himself at the door.
You might want to move.
Okay,
3,
now, because
4.
you just heard a huge bang at the door, make a will saving throw.
Okay.
Please be good, please be good.
That's
What is that? That's a 2.
Okay. You are still under his power.
I got
You are compelled to draw your weapon and approach Wendell.
4.
Wendell's basically going to use...
4 damage on the lock. Okay, the lock corrodes and begins to melt, but still holds fast. Wendell, what are you going to do?
I'm going to use acrobatics to make sure he can't hit me.
So
I can
you're going to dance away from this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, give me an acrobatics check.
Okay. 6 plus 11.
17.
Yeah.
17. Okay, make a 2-hit roll.
11. So if I'm using my flail, that's 11 plus 8. That's
19.
Ooh.
Okay, he does catch you in the air. Roll for damage.
Sorry, sweetie.
That's my sweetie.
I say sweetie generically.
10 plus 2. That's
Are you
12.
kidding?
12 points of damage on Wendell.
Ow.
Okay, make a reflex saving throw because you are in the air in the middle of a jump.
Okay.
So, first take the 12 points of damage.
That is... So on my 29... Yikes. 17. Okay, reflex saving throw. 17
That
plus
is 26.
9.
Yes, okay, you are able to keep your feet, and you land about 10 feet away from both the king and from Sir Jirek. You are against the side wall, but you have nowhere to escape. Okay, back to outside.
She's already made her action.
Yep. What are you going to do, Sorias?
Well, she already told people to stand back. So
She did.
I assume that people are far enough back.
Okay.
She cast her acid splash at the door. That's a 10-foot. So
The
Okay.
door should also be pretty mangled from.
So I
it's
can
already splintered it.
alter one of my bombs to be an acid bomb.
Yes, you can.
Yes, I can.
Yes, he can.
Yes,
I can.
Yes, he can.
Do I need to roll or just
It is
get
a helpless
damage?
target. There is no roll.
No roll. So if it's an acid bomb, is it just 3d6 acid
3d6
damage?
Acid damage,
All
which
right.
is a lot more than her 1d4.
We're looking at a total of 13.
Okay, so the lock corrodes and melts into a pile of dust. The door is now free.
All right.
Let's all rush in.
Okay,
So-
Vivian.
I am running in, and I look at the king, and then I roll another planes to see if I can identify what this actually
Okay,
is.
Fran, you can also run in. What are you going to do?
Well, you do see me just like smack him real good. So.
14 plus 6.
Knowledge of planes.
Yes.
I'll roll
That's a 20.
Knowledge of religion. Okay, knowledge of planes was able to tell you that someone must have done a plane trip to get in, but you don't know more than that.
16 plus 17 for religion.
Knowledge of religion, 16 plus 17. Here it is, folks. Okay, a 33. You take one look at the king, and you immediately notice his pale skin
Vampire.
and his elongated face. He clearly doesn't look like a human. This is a vampire who has taken the place of the king.
A vampire.
Okay?
Oh, okay. All right.
Now, as soon as the door opens, Sir Teric, make another will saving throw. Because there was a big exploding bomb that went off right next to the door.
Come on! You rolled a 4.
You are still under his suggestive power.
Come on! Gotta get something above a 5!
Alright.
I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Someone put on the music.
Alright, I'm working.
Okay, hang on, I got this.
Well, I assume by now my mutagen has worn off, so I'm going to have to make this
Your
adjustment.
mutagen has 5 minutes left.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they took 30 minutes to do a disguise or something, but I guess not.
No, actually, they
No,
canceled
we
that.
canceled that. Okay.
They canceled that.
If that's the case.
17 plus 5, that is 20.
Wait, I was gonna do a move.
He's too quick.
Wait, let's choose the music first. What's your initiative?
22.
22 for Vivian.
I have a total of 12.
16 for Fran.
That does not-
Megalovania?
That doesn't. This is a vampire.
I don't care. I'm joking anyway.
Okay,
Here's my actual selection though.
Okay, okay.
I like this one.
Okay, I need initiative from everyone, please.
10.
10 for Toby.
Oh, now I get something.
Okay, 16 again.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
11.
total of. Okay. Sir Jared gets a total of 17.
11 for Wendell. 17 for Sir Teric and Sirius.
16.
I have 12.
12. I'm still looking for one for Leona.
16. I said
Oh,
it
you
3
said
times.
16. Fran said 16 as well. Okay. Okay.
You're right. This doesn't fit.
Yeah, let me.
That's mine.
I want to see.
Wait, let me try.
Yep.
That's much better.
That's Bloody Tears from Castlevania.
It's Castlevania.
Set to heavy metal.
It fits. It fits.
I retire.
All right. So, King Reynold, his form shifts and blurs around him as he grows leathery wings and emerges from the room as a full dire bat and flies above your heads.
Okay. Switch down the volume just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Oh,
There we go.
that's better.
Do you have that on move?
Yeah, I don't know how to do it on loop.
The bat opens its mouth and roars a command to the gathered bodyguards, to Sir Teric and the party. Begone, you fools! My plans will not be interrupted. I need everyone to make a will saving throw.
All right.
Just watch me fail.
Oh dear. I have a plus 6.
19.
Oh no! I got 1! Oh no!
Okay, 19.
I got a 22.
2.
I want a 7!
Okay, you don't make a will saving throw. You're already under his power. 7. Okay. 11.
I have that one. I have a 7.
Okay.
17 plus 3, I got 20.
20. 19.
Now,
Yes.
I have the mutagen still on, which means my wisdom is -2.
That's correct.
So I have a -1 to my normal modifier for the
Correct.
will save. That means I have a total of 11.
So you have a total of 11?
Yes.
Okay, anyone that did not get a 15 or higher, you are compelled to turn and walk away.
All right.
Okay, 7 of the 8 bodyguards also turn to walk away, but Derek and the remaining bodyguard stay by your side. Who is left?
15 or better. Who's 15 or better?
Wendell, Toby,
That's it.
Derek, and one of the bodyguards.
That's it.
Good luck.
Good luck indeed.
No!
Round 1 begins.
I call out to the paladin. Get a hold of yourself. Remember your oath.
Vivian, you are next in the initiative order. You can make a will saving throw to try and break the suggestion.
I just hope my artifacts haven't become mundane because of this. I have a 20! Oh my god!
Not 20, you have broken the spell. And
Yippee
you
for
can turn.
you.
Okay, you are now free of the influence. You've used a standard action, but you can still move. So you have moved away, you can run back.
I am going to run back and I'm charging at the vampire.
He's in the air.
I'm going to charge back into the room with the vampire.
No, he's out of the room, up in the air, flying.
Okay,
in the
then
courtyard.
I am going to get under him.
Okay, you're standing under him. Next in the initiative order is Derek. He draws his sword and he says, "Steady, men! No! Come back! Fulfill your oath!"
Derek, do not reason. The only way we can break it is if they pass a will. We have to fight this
That's
ourselves.
the point, though.
He's trying to bolster their will is what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to do. Remember your oath and turn back. But Derek is also unable to reach the bat who is flying 15 feet in the air above your heads. Next we have Sir Teric. You are under the control and you are going to strike. Actually, you're going to use your powers to strike at the closest person, which would be the bodyguard.
Since it's his turn, doesn't he get a chance to make another save?
That's true. Make a will saving throw first. If you fail, then you will attack your buddies.
Okay, so that's a 12 plus an 8, 20.
You are free. You are free. Okay.
Sorry!
Okay,
Jack,
search for this for 10-hour mix. That'll loop it.
Yeah, okay. But first, I want to...
I play myself up my powers.
You need to display it, and there is this. Once you display it, then you use this.
One minute.
Who do I think looks bigger and buffer, the paladin or the alchemist right now? The paladin?
Is undead.
I know.
Alright. I'm going to try it.
Specifically does damage.
Okay, since he's currently since he's currently up in the air, I'm going to try and just chuck a vial of holy water at him.
Okay. You also have.
So you're Belmonting this.
He's going to summon Belmont.
You're Belmonting this.
Yes.
Pretty much. Okay, make a ranged attack roll.
Okay. 16 plus 8, 24.
That is not enough.
Oh no!
That is not enough to hit it. Okay.
Wow.
All right. The next is the bodyguard. He draws a hand crossbow and takes aim at the bat. As he does so, he says, "Forgive me, my liege." A little confused here. He rolls a 17. No, that is still not enough.
That is not your meter.
Okay, let's see who is next. Fran, you are up.
I will save.
Roll will save you throw.
3.
A total of 3, but what's your will?
Not good enough.
8.
Yeah.
So that's an 11. Yeah, that's not good enough. You are still compelled to run toward the exit. Leanna, what is you?
That is not a 20.
You need to roll a will saving throw to break the suggestion.
16 plus 5.
You are free.
What are my summoning options?
You can summon. You have a wand of Summon Monster 3, which gives a bigger monster, or you can cast Summon Monster 2 now.
No, I mean, what are my options for level?
Oh, or Summon Monster 3. Okay. Remember that when you summon monsters, they have more constitution or strength because of their feats. Alright, so Summon Monster 2 gives you a giant worker ant, a small elemental, a giant centipede, giant spider, a horse, or a wolf. Summon Monster 3 gives you an ape, a boar, a cheetah, a constrictor snake, a dire bat, an electric eel, a leopard, or a wolverine.
Let's get Batty up in here!
Okay, she's going to summon a dire bat. Okay. So, in a flash of light, a dire bat is summoned to your side. It is approximately the same size as the king, or the vampire who is impersonating the king. Alright? It can take to flight, and it will stay with you because it actually has, because of your feet, it stays extra rounds. So it will stay a total of 8 rounds.
Yay!
It has 4 extra strength and 4 extra constitution.
And since that was my regular action,
You can still do a move. Yes.
I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to send it to help them since I was compelled to run away, and then I'm going to move however far back into the room I can.
Your movement, what is your movement speed?
30.
That's enough to get you close, but not right there.
Well, that's okay. I don't need to be right there because I got one of these.
You just got to be in range. Gotcha. Okay, your dire bat rolled a 17 on the initiative order. So, dire bat, make him have his turn.
Okay, what can a dire bat?
Dire bat. Okay, dire bat has 14 armor class, and he can fly 20 feet per round, and he has a +7 attack, and he does 1d8 +4 with a bite attack.
Let's.
Special attack is he can smite evil.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
This is a dire bat. It has smite evil or good. It can choose.
Smite evil.
Okay. Now, in Pathfinder, smite evil works differently because smite evil in D&D, it's just one hit, and if you miss, it's gone. Smite evil actually works. It gives you a +2 to hit.